Hey everyone, in this video I want to teach you how to remove duplicates from a list. So let's say we have some list, we'll just call it colors, and I'm going to put some colors in here. And I'm going to put a few in here a couple of times. So we'll have red in there twice, and then I'm just going to have a ton of occurrences of blue. And now what we want to do is remove any duplicates such that we're left with red, green, blue. And a magical tool to do this with is a set. If you remember sets, you cannot have duplicates. So what we can do is pass colors to set, which will create a new set object. And then what we can do is if you want to keep it as a list, we can take this whole thing and pass this to list, which will create a new list. So pretty much the colors list is converted to a set and it'll get rid of any duplicates. Then we're converting it back to a list. And what you could do is you could assign this to a new variable such as no duplicate colors. That should work. Or you could just replace colors if you don't need to maintain that data, like so. And then what you can do is you can print colors. And running this, you get green, blue, and red. Notice that the order is not the same. That's a consequence of using sets because they are unordered. There's probably some solution out there if you really need to keep the order, or you could pass this to sorted to sort it in any way that you like. Now we have talked about this earlier in the series, but just as a refresher, if you're doing this, you're actually replacing the colors variable. If you need to keep the actual list, the same area of memory, then all you have to do is put square brackets and a colon. And that'll replace all of the elements of the colors, but not actually create it as a new list. And to show you guys this, just print the ID of colors before and after. So doing this, you should get the same number twice. So it's the same list in memory. For most situations, this is not necessary, and replacing it altogether is totally fine. But just keep in mind, if you have aliases, numerous variables pointing to this list, you might get some weird bugs if you're not careful. So just make sure you understand what you're doing here. But yeah, this is fine for me, so that's what we will do. So that is how to remove duplicates from a list. We actually used this trick earlier on in the series with list comprehension. And the thing we were trying to do is count the number of occurrences for each element. So red would be 2, green would be 1, and blue would be 4. And I'll show you what we did. We had a list count, and we were using list comprehension so it looked like so. Very first thing is we were getting each color. So for color in colors, and we would use the set variation of colors so that there was no duplicates. Otherwise, red would show up twice, which we don't want. So we converted to a set, and then over here on the left, all we did was we got the count of that color. So we said colors.count and passed in the color. So that was the solution, and then we printed count. And running this, we get 2, 4, 1. Obviously, that's not very helpful because you would think, oh, there's 2 reds, 4 greens, and 1 blue, but that's not actually what's happening. It's just rearranging the order because we're using a set. So what you could do in here is pass a column. Let's make this a list itself by passing in the color. There we go, and that's all in square brackets. Running this now, and we have a list of lists where we have pretty much the number and the color inside of each list. So that is the solution to counting elements, and you hopefully can understand it a bit better now that we have a more solid background in sets. So that is your video on removing duplicates from lists using sets. Up next, we're going to talk about various set operations, which are super convenient and another powerful tool of sets. So stay tuned, I will see you there.